Have you noticed something strange happening in the car industry lately? For decades, companies like Toyota, Ford, Volkswagen, BMW, and General Motors dominated the global auto market. They controlled the biggest factories, sold millions of vehicles every year, and built brands people trusted for generations. But now, something completely unexpected is happening. Chinese companies are building electric cars at prices so low that the rest of the auto industry is starting to panic. Some EVs coming out of China cost nearly half the price of similar electric cars sold by major Western automakers. And the most shocking part is that many of these vehicles still offer modern technology, impressive range, giant touchscreens, advanced software, and premium-looking interiors. So the question is obvious. How is China doing this? How are companies like BYD, Geely, XPeng, NIO, and Xiaomi producing electric cars so cheaply while many global automakers are struggling to make profits from EVs at all? Some people blame cheap labor. Others say government subsidies are the only reason. But the truth is far bigger than that. Behind China's EV boom is a massive industrial machine that has been quietly growing for nearly 2 decades. And now, the rest of the world is finally realizing just how powerful it has become. Because this isn't just about electric cars anymore. This is about who could control the future of the global auto industry itself. And what's happening behind the scenes is even more shocking than most people realize. Nearly 20 years ago, when most automakers around the world were still focused almost entirely on petrol and diesel vehicles, China started making a very different plan. At the time, electric cars looked like a risky experiment. Batteries were expensive. Charging stations barely existed. Most EVs had poor range, and many people believed electric cars would never replace traditional engines. But China saw something others ignored. Instead of trying to beat countries like Germany, Japan, and the United States at traditional gasoline engine technology, China decided to focus on the next generation of transportation before everyone else fully committed to it. And that decision changed everything. The Chinese government started pouring money into electric vehicle development years before EVs became popular globally. Companies received financial support. Factories received investment. Battery companies received research funding. Customers buying EVs received incentives. At first, many people thought the strategy would fail. Electric vehicles were expensive, and demand was extremely small. Even inside China, most consumers still preferred gasoline vehicles. But China wasn't thinking about short-term profits. I was thinking about long-term domination. While other countries debated whether EVs even had a future, China quietly started building the foundation for an entirely new auto industry. Charging stations appeared across major cities. Battery factories started growing rapidly. Local companies gained experience building electric drivetrains and software systems. And slowly, year after year, the momentum started building. Then something surprising happened. Chinese companies stopped looking like beginners. They started becoming serious competitors. BYD expanded aggressively. Geely started investing in global automotive brands. NIO focused on premium EV technology. XPeng pushed smart driving systems. And suddenly, China was no longer trying to catch up. It was starting to pull ahead. But government support alone wasn't the real secret. The biggest advantage China built was something far more important: batteries. Because in the EV world, batteries are everything. The battery is the single most expensive part of an electric car. In many cases, it can account for nearly 30 to 40% of the total vehicle cost. And China quietly built one of the most powerful battery empires the world has ever seen. Most people think battery manufacturing only begins inside factories. But the real battle actually starts much earlier. It starts with raw materials: lithium, nickel, cobalt, graphite. These materials are critical for EV battery production. Without them, modern electric vehicles simply cannot exist. China understood this earlier than most countries. Even though China does not control all of the world's raw mineral reserves, Chinese companies aggressively invested in supply chains across Africa, South America, and Asia years ago. Mining partnerships expanded rapidly. Refining facilities grew even faster. And before much of the world fully realized what was happening, China had secured a dominant position in battery material processing. That part is important, because mining minerals is one thing. Refining them into battery-grade materials is another. Today, a massive percentage of the world's lithium processing happens inside China. The same is true for graphite and several other critical battery materials. This gives Chinese battery companies a huge advantage: steady supply, lower costs, faster production, and more control over the entire system. Then companies like CATL and BYD entered the picture. CATL became one of the largest battery manufacturers on Earth, and BYD took things even further. Instead of simply buying batteries from suppliers, BYD started making its own. That changed the game completely, because when a company builds both the battery and the vehicle, it gains massive control over pricing, technology, and production speed. BYD's Blade battery quickly became one of the most talked about battery technologies in the EV industry. It focused on lower costs, improved safety, and efficient packaging. And while many Western automakers were still heavily dependent on outside suppliers, Chinese companies were already vertically integrating huge portions of their production systems. Even Tesla relies heavily on China's battery ecosystem. That alone shows how powerful China's position has become. But batteries were only one part of the story. The next advantage China built was even harder to copy: gigafactories. And not just normal factories. Massive industrial megafactories operating at incredible speed. Some of China's EV production sites are so enormous they look more like entire cities than car plants. Inside these facilities, batteries, motors, electronics, software systems, and vehicle assembly operations are often located close together or even inside the same manufacturing ecosystem. That creates huge efficiency advantages. Transportation costs drop, production delays shrink, communication between suppliers becomes faster, and companies can manufacture vehicles at incredible speed. This is where economies of scale become extremely important. When a company produces only a small number of vehicles, each car becomes expensive to build. But when factories produce hundreds of thousands or even millions of units, the cost per vehicle drops dramatically. China mastered this system, and it scaled faster than almost anyone expected. Inside many Chinese factories, robots handle huge portions of the manufacturing process: welding, painting, assembly, quality inspections. Machines operate continuously, reducing labor costs and speeding up production. Some factories can push out new vehicles every few minutes. And that speed matters more than most people realize, because faster production means lower costs. Lower costs mean lower prices, and lower prices attract more customers. This creates even larger production volumes, and then the cycle repeats itself again. This is one reason Chinese EVs have become so difficult for many competitors to match on price. But another massive advantage was still developing quietly in the background: the supply chain. And this may be one of the biggest reasons China became so dominant so quickly. Building a car requires thousands of different parts: chips, wiring, motors, sensors, displays, battery components, steel, aluminum, plastic parts, software systems. If even one critical component arrives late, production lines can slow down or completely stop. Many automakers around the world learned this painfully during the global supply chain chaos of recent years. But China built something different. Instead of spreading suppliers across dozens of disconnected regions, China created manufacturing ecosystems where huge networks of suppliers operate close together. Thousands of companies produce components inside tightly connected industrial zones. Many parts can reach factories within hours instead of weeks. That dramatically improves efficiency. It also lowers transportation costs. And when companies save money on logistics, they can lower vehicle prices even more. China's ports, rail systems, highways, and export infrastructure also became extremely powerful. Once vehicles are built, companies can move them rapidly into global markets. That is why Chinese EVs are now appearing across Europe, Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, and Africa at astonishing speed. And here's the part making Western automakers nervous. Many companies outside China still depend on Chinese suppliers for critical EV components, which means China doesn't just sell EVs. It also helps power the global EV industry itself. But then things became even more serious, because Chinese companies stopped behaving like slow-moving traditional automakers. They started moving more like technology companies. And that changed the entire pace of competition. BYD became one of the clearest examples. The company started as a battery manufacturer before becoming an automotive giant. That battery experience gave BYD a major advantage. Today, BYD controls huge portions of its own supply chain, including batteries, chips, and other critical components. That level of vertical integration helps reduce costs dramatically. It also allows the company to launch new technologies faster. Then there's Geely. Instead of staying isolated inside China, Geely expanded aggressively into international markets and investments. The company gained ownership stakes in brands like Volvo, Lotus, and Polestar, giving it access to engineering expertise and global experience. That helped Geely evolve much faster than many people expected. And then came Xiaomi. This shocked almost everyone. For years, Xiaomi was known mainly as a smartphone company. Then, suddenly, it entered the EV industry, and people paid attention immediately. Because modern electric vehicles are becoming something very different from traditional cars. They're turning into software-driven machines, smartphones on wheels, large screens, connected ecosystems, smart assistants, app integration, over-the-air updates, digital experiences. This is where Xiaomi suddenly looked dangerous, because software is already part of its DNA. The company understood connected technology long before entering the car market, and many younger consumers actually like that approach. To them, a car is no longer just transportation, it's a smart device. That shift is changing the industry faster than many traditional automakers expected. But the most shocking part may be how quickly Chinese companies launch products. Legacy automakers often take years to fully develop and release new vehicles. Chinese EV companies move much faster. They react quickly to trends. They release updated models rapidly. They experiment aggressively, and they adapt at a pace that sometimes feels closer to consumer electronics than traditional automotive manufacturing. That speed is becoming a serious threat, because technology industries reward fast innovation. And right now, Chinese companies are moving extremely fast. Which brings us to the biggest reason Europe and America are becoming increasingly worried: price pressure. Because when customers see EVs with strong range, modern features, giant displays, smart software, and competitive performance at lower prices, something dangerous starts happening. Brand loyalty weakens. For decades, companies like BMW, Mercedes, Toyota, Ford, and Volkswagen benefited from strong brand trust. But many consumers today care about value first. If one EV costs significantly less while offering similar technology, people start asking uncomfortable questions. Why pay more? And that's exactly what Western automakers fear. Chinese companies are no longer competing only on price. Some are now competing on technology too. This has created enormous pressure across the global EV market. Tesla itself has repeatedly reduced prices in recent years as competition intensified. Traditional automakers are also struggling with rising production costs and expensive EV transitions. Meanwhile, Chinese companies continue expanding aggressively. That's why governments started reacting. Import tariffs increased. Trade restrictions expanded. Political tensions grew stronger. The United States and parts of Europe began treating Chinese EVs not just as products, but as strategic threats, because the auto industry supports millions of jobs. Factories, suppliers, dealerships, logistics companies, entire regional economies depend on automotive manufacturing. If cheaper Chinese EVs capture major market share globally, the consequences could be enormous. And that's where fears about trade wars started appearing. Because once countries begin blocking products with tariffs and restrictions, retaliation often follows. Many experts now believe the EV industry could become one of the biggest economic battlefields of the next decade. But despite all this momentum, China's EV industry still faces serious risks. And some of those risks are growing rapidly. One major concern is profit margins. Competition inside China's EV market has become extremely intense. Some companies are cutting prices aggressively just to gain market share. That may work short-term, but long-term, it creates financial pressure. Not every company can survive endless price wars. Some analysts already believe parts of China's EV industry may eventually face consolidation, where weaker companies disappear or merge with larger players. Then there's the issue of long-term reliability. Chinese EV quality has improved dramatically over the last several years, but some consumers still wonder how these vehicles will perform after 8 or 10 years of use. Brand trust takes time to build. Toyota, Honda, BMW, and Ford earned reputations over decades. Many Chinese brands are still building that confidence internationally. Global regulations are another challenge. Every country has different safety standards, software rules, and certification requirements. Expanding globally isn't always simple. And then there's overcapacity. China is building EV production capacity on an enormous scale. Some experts worry there could eventually be too many factories and too many vehicles competing for the same customers. If demand slows down, financial pressure could increase quickly. But even with those concerns, one thing is becoming impossible to ignore. China has already changed the global EV industry forever. The old automotive world is disappearing, and a new one is emerging much faster than most people predicted. Now the competition is no longer only about horsepower or engine design. It's about batteries, software, supply chains, artificial intelligence, manufacturing speed, and pricing power. This is beginning to look very similar to what happened in the smartphone industry years ago. At one point, many people believed companies like Nokia and BlackBerry were untouchable. Then the industry changed rapidly. New companies rose. Old leaders struggled. Consumer expectations have transformed completely. The same kind of disruption may now be happening inside the auto industry, especially as EV prices continue falling. If Chinese companies keep lowering costs while improving technology, millions of people in developing countries may finally be able to afford electric vehicles for the first time. Countries like India, Brazil, Indonesia, Thailand, Mexico, and many others could become enormous future EV markets. And Chinese companies are already moving aggressively into many of those regions. At the same time, battery technology keeps improving. Faster charging, lower costs, longer range, better safety. The next generation of batteries could make EV adoption accelerate even faster. And that could put even more pressure on traditional gasoline vehicles. Which raises a question that still makes many automakers nervous. Could petrol cars slowly become outdated faster than expected? Nobody knows for sure, but the pressure is clearly growing. And now the entire global auto industry is entering one of the biggest transformations in modern history. The companies that dominated the last 100 years may not automatically dominate the next 20. That's the reality many executives are starting to understand. Because China didn't just build cheap electric cars. It built an entire EV ecosystem: batteries, factories, supply chains, software, infrastructure, financing, global logistics. And now the rest of the world is racing to catch up. But the biggest surprise may be this. Just a few years ago, many people laughed at the idea of Chinese cars competing seriously against global automotive giants. Today, some of those same companies are scrambling to respond. And what happens next could completely reshape the future of transportation across the entire world. The real battle is only beginning, and the next few years could decide who controls the future of the automotive industry itself. Because this is no longer just about cars, it's about technology, economic power, global manufacturing dominance, and the future of mobility for billions of people. And whether people realize it or not, that future is already arriving faster than expected.